Well, good morning. I don't have the best phase of my life, but let's go. The sun is shining, everything will be fine. And let's talk about the moon. The moon. I did a song a long time ago called I'm Not Scared of the Moon, and I didn't know about the effect that it was actually causing me with inflammation, with, many other things that it sounds kind of wacky, but it's totally true. At the end of the day, this is like an electromagnetic universe, and therefore, the moon has a lot to do with all this, with inflammation, with, all of it, really. So, why does the full moon impact sleep, gut health, digestion? It's absolutely crazy, but yeah, many studies indicated that the full moon influences sleep. There's many studies that basically said that people during the full moon experience more anger, or just ask anyone working in emergency in the hospitals and so on, and they're going to tell you that during the full moon all these increases. There's also microbiome disruption during this time, which causes sleep deprivation. Poor sleep quality can lead to imbalances in the gut microbiome, and they reduce the diversity of beneficial bacteria. So as a result, you might experience digestive issues such as bloating, gas, increased gut permeability, and so on. So there you go. you know. Um, so yeah, how to improve sleep, support gut health during the full moon. Use blackout curtains. That's very important. So you can increase your melatonin production, which basically gets reduced during this time. Also, for people that already has inflammation, serotonin, which is good in a good balance, but when there is too much of it, you can actually go a bit lunatic as well. Mindfulness, breathing, all these obviously. Use essential oils like lavender, sandalwood. This can enhance a better sleep environment during these days. Um, Sleep herbs, for instance, you can use anything like that. Gut healing herbs, for instance, like, you know, yeah. Adaptogenic herbs are really useful for adrenal support as well. So there is less disruption during all this horrible, full moon moment. Um, and yeah, take control of this during the full moon, especially. It's crazy how it regulates so many things in us. Obviously, we are almost made out of water, and water, as you know, is affected by the moon phases, and everything in this planet, really. But also, and this is very important, do you know that parasites increase their movement in your body, including reproducing during the full moon? This is a huge one because this is due to our circadian rhythm being affected by the full moon cycle, making our bodies produce more serotonin and less melatonin. Parasites love serotonin as it stimulates muscles and allows them to move more freely in your body. It helps them to reproduce and also get stronger, and it increases their ability to fit. Another interesting way they use serotonin is to communicate with each other and create biofilms in your body so that they can inhibit your immune system from getting rid of them. So, hello, full moon. If you have a heavy parasitic infection, you may feel very unwell around the week of the full moon. A few days before, a few days after, or just during the full moon. And this is very, very common, and it's been really common for me and during all the warming process and so on. If you find yourself feeling very depressed, anxious, craving sugar, unable to sleep, increased levels of pain in your body, diarrhea, constipation, general weakness, fatigue, it might be due to the higher level of parasite activity because they want to reproduce. They're going to use this moment to reproduce. And yeah, so yeah, it's no joke. It's a good time as well if you want to actually deworm. Um, I would I wouldn't say just do it on the full moon because they have different cycles and they reproduce, but the full moon is the moment where you can actually go after them, making sure that obviously your detox pathways are also properly working, because obviously the herd reaction, let's say, or the die-off from parasites, they leave so much crap, especially they feed also on heavy metals and all sorts of things. In fact, in a way, the fact that you have a heavy parasitation of this kind sometimes means that they are also helping you. In fact, in a way, they protect you. They eat all this crap, they keep it inside, but the problem is your immune system. There's a point where, so it's a good idea to deworm. And yeah, obviously hormones, moon, we know how women are so much even more connected to the moon, and all these hormonal cycles are syncing to the moon as well. Everything has a rhythm, and for man it might not be that brutal as with us, but we are very linked to it, and we have to pay attention to all these cycles, because everything is a cycle. Nothing is stable, everything goes up and down, and respecting all these ups and downs and cycles really is what help us keep our health stable and keep our health good. But the moon definitely has a huge impact on us. So if you feel kind of wacky and you have Lyme disease, or however you want to call this toxicity situation with inflammation and all this, or your gut is a mess, or you can't sleep those days, pay attention to it. Again, symptoms are there telling you that something's wrong, that something has to be done. And so it is incredibly helpful uh, to go after all these. And yeah, also during the full moon, you're going to see, if you already have inflammation, that this inflammation is going to increase. So, so yeah, um, there are many other ways that you can tell how a person is affected by it. For example, I remember a long time ago, I just thought that, the word or the term lunatic is for a reason. This increase in serotonin, serotonin is not, is, yeah, it can be like the happy hormone, but is not always the happy hormone. When it's out of whack and balance and you have too much of it, you can actually go nuts. So, you have to have this balance along with melatonin, so you sleep well and you keep a healthy brain and mind during this time as well. So, so yeah, so if you have an increase on headaches, arthritis, skin issues, and it occurs during the full moon, basically the mechanism include changes in gravitational magnetic fields, or basically, as I said, this increase in parasite activity that you get, and reproduction that you get during this time. So, so yeah, also the biological biorhythm is going to be affected, basically, as full moons correlate with the higher levels of oxidative stress, like TNF-A, alpha, and so on, due to magnetic radiation. This is no joke. It's no longer like a wacky theory. It's actually proven. Um, so yeah, you're also gonna have heightened sensitivity, emotional or psychological sensitivity might increase, leading to a higher perception of pain, inflammation, often referred as moon sickness. So yeah, but again, um, do not be scared of the moon. It's gonna be there, and we can't do anything about it. But take advantage of this phase to actually do a cleanse, or just do the things you need to do, so you feel at ease, and yeah, and well. So, maybe you can increase it. If you are already on an anti-inflammatory diet, pay attention even farther into it. And yeah, so basically, that's all we can do: stress management and so on. So thanks for watching. Do not be scared of the moon, and I'll see you next time. Bye, and goodbye, full moon.